Okay, so raise your hand if you remember Blizzard explaining several months ago that the RIPCORD that they had earlier stated could be pulled in the event that their Shadowlands systems didn't work as intended could in fact not be pulled, as these systems were central to their design philosophy, their vision for the expansion. I remember thinking that it was about as dumb as designing a ship with a giant fuck-off hole in the hull and then refusing all advice on how to fix said hole and watching as the ship slowly sank into the sea. Well, without jumping on the WoW is dead grift wagon too much, I think I can reliably state that this particular ship is definitely sinking right now. And sadly, the key evidence for this is Blizzard's sudden willingness to listen to what players have been telling them for months now, and then promise changes to the game which should have been announced and then implemented long ago. For any of you who are unclear as to what I'm talking about, this is the situation. Yesterday there were two major tweets from the official World of Warcraft Twitter account which promised significant changes to retail WoW, as well as reminding players of what can be expected to come next for TBC Classic. Before I get into the real message of this video and my primary reason for making it, because yes, I know every guy and his mum will be making a video like this right now, I want to first talk about this line here, because for me, this is the most interesting part of the whole thing. So Blizzard here state that they're working on something, with no specifics given, for classic players who want a fresh start. Now the choice of language here is important. We've heard a lot about the idea of classic fresh. I made a video on this recently following the discovery of a Phase 1 Classic PTR build and discussed my hopes that this would potentially lead to Classic Plus, that is vanilla WoW with new added raids, zones and so on. Now if you look at the comments on that video, it's pretty clear that a good portion of the viewers feel that even if Classic Plus does become a thing, Blizzard is highly likely to fuck it up, either through poorly designed and implemented systems or through sheer greed by trying to monetize the hell out of Classic. You know, like they already have. I won't get too much more into this because, like I said, there's another video I've put up on that topic. For now I'll just say that I'm interested to see what they have in mind, whether it's simply a restart of vanilla Classic servers, or if it's going to be Classic Plus, which for me would be a lot more interesting. We'll have to wait and see. Now for the important part of this video, and this concerns retail WoW. So on screen you'll see a list of the features that the team are intending to bring into the game with patch 9.1.5. Let's take a look at them, shall we? Improved Covenant swapping, allied race customizations, campaign skip for alts and reporting improvements. Okay, I think most of us realise what's going on here. Yes, there are a few other things scattered in there which are nice, but what this basically amounts to is giving the players fixes and alterations to Shadowlands, many of which we asked for 9 months ago. It's a real shame, but this largely appears to be little more than a belated attempt to appease the many players who have turned away from the game in recent months by offering them something which they should have already been given. To quote Asmongold's tweet on the posts, "This is not a win," and I completely agree. For those people who are still playing WoW, it's obviously a good thing that these changes are being made. But there is very little extra that we're getting here. This is primarily Blizzard fixing the problems they made. And that's what the focus needs to be here. This is not the first time that Blizzard has designed an expansion which had broken systems at launch, which players identified as early as the beta, and which did not get fixed until later patches. It should not be the standard, and we should absolutely not accept their decision to finally address problems of their own creation, months after the release of their game, as some sort of great sign of progress and change. Yes, it demonstrates that they're hurting and need to start addressing players' needs. But that should have always been their agenda. For me, this simply isn't enough for me to have any real interest in returning, and I will be looking to patch 9.2 and beyond as a truer indication of what Blizzard's long-term intentions actually are. I know that for many of you, the prospect of you ever returning to WoW is pretty unlikely at this point, and it will take something truly monumental, both in terms of the game and the conduct of the company developing it, to bring you back to Azeroth. Honestly, I can't say I feel much different. Now if you enjoyed this little reminder that we as players deserve more than to clap our hands and cheer at Blizzard for sorting out a small part of the mess they've made, then consider subscribing to the channel for more videos like this one. If you're interested in Classic or the concept of Classic Plus, or just want to explore other options as someone who loves the Warcraft IP, you can join me on my adventures in some WoW private servers which will be coming up shortly. We'll be trying out Ascension WoW, Darrowshire and probably some others too. I hope to see you there guys, but in the meantime, be well, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.